Hey guys, surprised to see me. I'm surprised to be here. Um, I'll tell you what, it's Tuesday. It's a very interesting week. I had a lot of stuff get dropped on me today. So what are we gonna end up doing tonight? Nothing too much. I don't necessarily have a plan, but I know it's going to involve uh World of Warships. That's right. We are going to be playing World of Warships at least for the next 2 weeks. Um, until the free stuff goes away. And I'm going to be doing some world building, so um, that's kind of like in the purview. So a little bit of world building. I'm trying to get the map right. I ran into some issues when I was drawing. I tried to finish drawing on Sunday. No, Monday. Wait, Monday. Uh, I was Wait, did it reset? Oh yeah, new month. That's right. New month restart. Um, how close am I to like the next tier? Ooh, I am not that far off. 157,000? I need 161? Okay, so they don't veer off like the Americans. Okay. Ooh, let's do it. Let's grind. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of stuff got dumped on me. I would probably say today. I tried finishing the map last night. I had some issues with the Black Sea, and it just wasn't. Oops, let me switch over here. I was just having issues with the Black Sea altogether, and it just wasn't cooperating. I ended up drawing it, but for some odd reason, it ended up on a different layer in the maps. So I need to figure out how to I guess build custom layers because I've noticed some of the videos that I have watched, they have fewer layers than what I have, and I find that very weird. Ugh. So I need to figure out. It looks like we're still doing with long times. Um, and then I saw the new. I was watching some of the. And X has been crazy. The last X has been crazy the last couple of days. 2 minutes on the queue? Come on, man. Who claims that, man? That's crazy. Okay, that was just stupid. I'm just, I'm just 3 minutes. Oh my god, come on. Where is everybody? There we go. Finally. What happened? Alright, here we go.
Let's give them a hard time. Machen wir ihnen das Leben schwer.
Well, anyways, like I was saying, X has been crazy the last couple of days. Something happened to where, like, the rules or something got switched. I saw shots being fired over here. To where now Japanese Twitter and American Twitter, for some odd reason, are pretty much, talking to one another, which is crazy. And the reason why it's crazy is because generally those two Twitters are, like, they don't really interact that much with one another. I mean, they do, but it's more antagonistic than anything, because you have, like, the antis and, like, other groups of people that really don't care for Japan, for whatever reason. I mean, I guess there's lots of reasons to dislike Japan. I personally don't. I have no grudge against Japan whatsoever. Got it. He's probably thinking, like, what the hell? See this lightning strike twice. Lightning indeed strikes twice. I've done a little bit of damage, not a whole lot. Yeah, he got smart and moved out the way. Leander, you're too far away for your acoustic search to do anything. Like right there. There he is. It's a Farragut. Come on, fires. No. Try to warn him. I give up. There's no point. Like, I don't know why that stupid battleship did that. And so now we're losing like horribly. Think that Baltimore, I have a chance. Boom, I have my opening. Alright, right there. Gonna make a wide turn. Line it up properly. Him in the right spot too. Hold it together. Hold it together. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Bullseye. Let's go hit him again. Okay, so they got the Farragut. Bismarck is still alive. But the Colorado... Alright, we're gonna come in. We gotta come in wide from the right. There we go. There we go. Now we can make another pass. If it doesn't get sunk. Oh! Of course. Alright. Torpedo planes are spent. Go after that. Let's go after the Bismarck. Dive bombing. Ah. Oh, they eradicated that squadron. Didn't even stand a chance. Alright, let's try this again. I don't know what this Leander's doing, but it's pissing me off. Yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. Alright. How much more time before another minute? Nope, that's gonna shoot over. Okay, 16 seconds. 16 seconds. Here we go. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so 8 is a full flight. Nope. We'll hit them with the bombers. My torpedo planes are like my strongest attack that I have. And we just lost the battleship. Oh, Leander, we need to play it smart. Yeah, because you decided to play stupid. Why did it drop my torpedoes like that? Okay, I have like very few flights. Missed. I have absolutely nothing. Like I cannot defend myself at all whatsoever. Well, that's alright, Dragon. You're not missing much, man. You're not missing much. Dealing with dumb people who don't know how to play the game. And I haven't, now granted, I haven't played the game in like months. The hell? I have no idea what this is. But it looks cool. Some type of like movie clip from like Bollywood cinema. I have no idea what this movie clip is, but holy crap. This is not, oh my god, that is not the name of the film, is it? Okay, I was about to say, like, that'd be horribly racist. And I wouldn't put it as a surprise. Wouldn't put it past, like, but it's called the 20, the, what is it? The 21 Sikhs? A group of Sikhs fighting some Afghan tribesmen. But the title of the film, according to the comment section, was Saving Private Raj, and I'm like, that's terrible. Yeah, I know. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna try again. Hopefully this time...
Machen wir ihnen das Leben schwer.
Go ahead and... Hopefully we fare better this match. Because last match this was terrible. This was just terrible. So how you been, Dragon? You been doing all right? How do you like that? There he is. Found you. Oh, come on. That should have been a hit. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Lucky, lucky you. The destroyer, not you. I just want him to dance. Okay, where are you? Okay, so they just gave up and they're gonna let him have C. Okay, that's fine. I'm then going to see how close I can get to the Iron Duke. Actually, no. Let's do the DeGrasse. Never mind. Traded one cruiser for another cruiser. Ooh. Okay, I'm just not needed. That's what I'm learning here. I just wasn't needed for this fight. This was an all them fight. And oh man, he gave me what I wanted. I wasn't expecting him to do that for me. He opened his legs up wide for me. I do appreciate it. Ooh, that Hatsuharu looks like he's about to hit. He might get a hit. We got 2 hits. Nice. Alright. It didn't do too much damage, but we're going to follow up. Come on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nope. Alright. Okay, wherever this sub is located, this sub is... Let's see. Making myself known, which is making me a pretty fat target. They still have a destroyer, which makes it a bit of a problem. The enemy team is capturing B. Alright, well. Let me go ahead and set up for my attack run here. There you go. Right here. Nope, I was wrong. I don't think this is gonna go well. Nope. And then I shot those way too far out. You know what? Might as well just go in. Balls to the wall. Over penetration. Are you freaking kidding me? Gotta turn in. Yep. Nope. Sorry about that. Oh man. Well. Alright. Let's try this again. So I was coming home today from work, and normally on my drive home, there's this little place I stop by, pick up like a soda for the drive home, just caffeine to keep me coherent on the drive home. And generally there's a couple of things that I do, because when I leave work at 4:45 or 4:40, no, 4:45. When I leave work at 4:45, there's not much that I can do in terms of entertainment. I really don't like listening to music all that much. I have to be in the mood for music. And the drive home for me is like not one of those things where it's like, I want to listen to music. So generally what I do, I watch YouTube. Well, I don't watch YouTube. I listen to YouTube because it's unsafe to watch YouTube and driving, right? So don't do that. All right. Don't watch YouTube and drive. Yeah, they got so nervous they had to call in help. Alright, we're gonna try again. I didn't lose anybody. Yeah, don't do that. It's dangerous, right? So, there's always a couple of things that I like to watch. There's some. I keep on saying watch. I shouldn't say watch, but I'm so used to like, I'm gonna watch YouTube. You know, YouTube is for watching, not for listening. It's some stupid shit like that. Anyways, so I'm over here drinking my soda and my Coke, and oh look, he's standing still. I surely can't miss. And I didn't. That's gonna miss. Well, anyways, Walk Don't Run Productions. They do a lot. Those guy that guy normally does like political commentary. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. His most recent video was about the Amazon workers, Teamsters union striking or whatever. Hey, got 2 hits. Alright. I'll take it. I don't know, man. I just haven't. I don't know. Just haven't been in the. I'm not depressed. I know that. I'm not depressed. So I don't know. I just haven't been feeling listening to music. This battleship is crazy. I feel like it's overpowered. Turn. What is going on out here? The fuck? I feel like I'm playing with paid actor. Like this is crazy. Like I'm playing with bots or something. You haven't sank a single one of theirs? You... Oh my goodness. Like, my job is to support. I am not... Okay, that was a good hit. Where am I being attacked from? Oh. They're all Grok AI. Ooh. At least I took out the destroyer. I got the kill. And by secondaries. If I was that destroyer, I'd be embarrassed. How do you lose to an aircraft carrier to their secondaries? It's a shameful display. We're now modding World of Warships now? That's crazy. That's kind of cool. But I'm not going to pay $7 for that. I got 8 minutes before the daily ritual comes up. God diggity dog. Okay, so let me look at this one more time. 160. I need just maybe one more battle. One more good battle, and I can upgrade to the next aircraft carrier. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how they haven't done this. They haven't done that yet. I find that very crazy that they never. Well, I guess maybe for a while, Wargaming.net was a Russian company for a while. So with the whole Crimea thing, and I don't really know the politics of Sabaton. I know that they're a great band. I listen to them. regularly when I feel like it. Um, Kind of like fall back on that whole feeling like music thing, continuity and whatnot. But anyways, it could have been that. Wargaming used to be a Russian company, and then after the whole Ukraine Russia war, they kind of like just sold off bits and pieces of it. But anyways, like I was saying before, I got like ultimately distracted. So I have a ritual, like I said, get me a soda from this one place, and then drive home. And usually the drive home from work is about an hour to maybe an hour and a half, depending on traffic. And to get to work, it's like 45 minutes to like almost an hour. It's not exactly an hour, but it does take me real close to 45 minutes to an hour in the morning. So in the afternoons, I'm pretty just kind of like chill, laid back. I'm going to be listening to a podcast, or I'm going to be listening to YouTube. And um, most of the podcasts that I do listen to is like world building stuff, how to write this, how to write that, how to create this or create that. Very, kind of just like stuff that's in my wheelhouse at the moment. But anyways, so I decided to look through YouTube uh, before I left work, put a couple of videos, queue them up, and then, kind of just move on from there. And just went through my normal news cycle, and then a couple of the reaction streamers that I watch, because they usually post clips of their stuff from the day. So there was one video that I was very interested in, and the VTuber, her name is obviously it's a VTuber, right? So a VTuber named Leaflet, and her mom is Asari. Leaflet has a role playing game that she maintains and created, and all this other stuff. And her mom just also streams. They're both from like California, but they're transplants from California to Texas. But anyways, so um, the the video that caught my attention on Leaflet's side was that she was reacting to a Shoe on Head video. Um, are you familiar with Shoe on Head, Dragon? I'm just kind of curious. Do you know who Shoe on Head is? You love those VTubers. I know, and it's one of my many vices. Well, one of my few vices that I have. You know, honestly, I would prefer like this version of me compared to the version of me that was like, oh man, they're having technical issues already. They don't want me to upgrade my aircraft carrier. That's what it is. They don't want me to get to the Shokaku. That's what this is. They don't want me to get there. I don't know. That's fine, man. um, yeah, the nerding around, or the Jason from like 2016 to 2020. I was doom scrolling like left and right. I was a doom scroller on YouTube, doom scroller on Twitter. Um, Soaked up into political commentary like left and right. It consumed me, and I really didn't like that because it um you know, even though my politics had shifted a little bit, I still was just like I couldn't turn away from politics. And and the one thing that I told myself, like I had my personal YouTube, and then I had my, nerding around YouTube, and I didn't want my nerding around YouTube to be inundated with political conversation. This was supposed to be just my space to relax, which I'm very happy I've been able to keep it that way. But a lot of the VTubers that I like, they're starting to talk about current events and culture war stuff that I'm kind of interested in, but kind of not interested. But anyways, so Leaflet was responding to or was reacting to a shoe on head video. I've reacted to a shoe on head video before, with the whole I forgot the streamer's name. I can't think of her name for the life of me because I just don't watch her stuff. But anyways, and shoe on head is a mom who's also, her politics are a little bit more to the left. Um, Not entirely. She's more like a centrist that leans to the left. She's very common sense, which I can kind of dig, which is why I can tolerate Shoe on Head's videos most of the time. Um, but like Shoe on Head from 2016. True, 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 and you know, um, so a lot of her stuff is common sense, and but Shoe on Head from like 2016 to like 2018, 2019, she was insufferable. Oh my goodness, I couldn't stand seeing her, but I would watch her videos nonetheless just to hear the opposing side. I would just still hate it. But what was so crazy about today's video that Leaflet was reacting to was um, the Iran war, and so I was just like, okay, let me hear Shoe's take on this. I'm kind of curious, and then I'm gonna hear Leaflet's take on this as well. Um, you know, Leaflet, as much as I like her content, as much as I love the way she games and the way she does stuff, I really can't stand her opinion sometimes. She's a good person. She's a great person. She seems like she'd be really fun to, like, I don't know, play multiplayer games or whatever. I don't know. It just seemed like she'd be really cool. It's just that she's so, I guess because she's not a reactionary. I guess that's what I'm more used to. I'm more used to like reactionaries. She slowly comes to a conclusion, and like it's almost like she's the oh god, I hate to like compare her to this person, but I'm gonna have to. If I had to compare Leaflet to like anybody in the politosphere, it would have to be like Jordan Peterson. Like she has to go through the entire thought process before she makes a decision. And like she has a decision. Oh my god, you're gonna do this to me again. What is going on? Uh, what is going on? That would be like that would be the best way that I could honestly like compare her to. She's not like Jordan Peterson. It's just like her thought, her processes. Like she tries to be as nuanced as possible. She tries to see things from both sides as clearly as possible. But she just needs to like make a decision, and you can change. Of course, you're always welcome to change your decision. Change your decision later on when more information comes out. You know, um, it's kind of like it's one of those things where it's just like I had a set opinion about VTubing when I first saw it, and then I changed my mind and I really liked it. So I guess nobody else is having the issue. It's just Might be just a me thing. Let me do a co-op battle. Yeah, she's nothing like Jordan Peterson. And so like she's nothing like Jordan Peterson. She is on the right, but she tries to be very nuanced about the thing, and she takes forever in her thought process. She's like, "Chat, hear me out," and then she'll go down this long ass indecisive conversation with chat, and I'm just sitting here like I'm thinking to myself like, you have a conclusion. You just don't want to say what your conclusion is. Just say what your conclusion is. It's okay. Or she has to over explain, you know. She has to over explain herself. And or she has to explain herself even if nobody asks for her to explain. I don't know. It's just weird. She's constantly getting in trouble. She's being called a Nazi. She's being called a racist, a homophobe, all of those things, transphobe. I remember when she not dated, when she debated Niara um on stream. That I didn't really care for. I don't like Niara. Niara, she is she's not a good faith person, to say the least. You know, respecting pronouns and everything else. You know, she is trans, but she is not a good faith person to have a debate with. She's very devious. Um, wow, I can't even get into bot matches. They really don't want me. They really don't want me to have this thing. Yeah, yeah. But again, overall, she's a good person. So anyway, so she was reacting to a shoe on head video about the Iran war, and all right. So clearly, there's some issues going on here. She's gonna have to do something else. Um, so she was reacting to the video, and there was some things in the video that I was like, holy crap! Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And so, shoe on head's video, the whole premise of the video was talking about how the Iranian war, the conflict that is happening currently right now, could be related to a death cult within the United States government. And I know that sounds very crazy. I know that sounds very crazy, but apparently I wasn't aware. Well, I was aware of this particular thing. I just wasn't aware that it was within our government, but it makes sense that it is in our government. So like we have a death cult within our government, and these death cults are um how could I put this? They're evangelical Christians. All right. I know some evangelical Christians. They're not the greatest people to have conversations with, especially these particular ones. And it is just, you know, if I had if I had not been a Catholic growing up, and I would have like see these evangelicals in the way they do things and the way they talk and everything else like that, I would have probably remained an atheist instead of becoming a Catholic. That's how crazy the situation is. You know, um, it 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 boggles the mind on some of these instances. So I was continuing to watch it, and I was just like, all right. Oh, what is this? What is this? I'll show you what I'm looking at. Um, Check it out, Phasmophobia, the Cursed Hollow. So this caused me to go down an entire rabbit hole. Like after like the first, I think 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes uh um of the video. Yep, new update. Welcome back, Ghost Hunters. We have an update for you today. We're excited to kick off 2026 iteration of Cursed Hollow, Phasmophobia's annual springtime in-game event. As detailed previously, we're taking Ghost Hunters to once again work together to unlock rewards. Cursed Hollow complete contracts, double XP, Cursed Hollow rewards. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we have. This is the same one. That's the same one. What is this? Okay, so here's the roadmap for 2026. We got some major updates. So they already reworked Tanglewood rework. Looks like they're gonna do Willow rework, and there's a new map coming, which is kind of cool. There's a one-time event coming up. Cursed Hollow, Crimson Eve, or Crimson Eye, and then Winter Jest 1.0 release, horror rework, and lore update. Wait, there's lore? There's there's lore? Player character overhaul, Unity 6 and network update, which is kind of cool. And they're going to be available for the Nintendo Switch 2. Not that I'm going to have the Nintendo Switch 2, mind you. I'm just, wow. I got to give props to Phasmophobia. I really do. Compared to like Demonologist, when was this? Demonologist, it was February 6th. Phasmophobia hasn't stopped working. Like, what is this? Cursed Chapel. Oh yeah, that's that new map. Um, they did release a new map called the Cursed Chapel. Oh really? I think I got a chance to play with a buddy of mine, and he liked it. He liked the rework. He thought it was pretty good. This got an update. Let me see. Let me open it up here. Oh my god, these long ass ads. Are you crazy? Okay. So here's Shu, and hold on. Gotta gotta switch this up for the commentary here. I gotta I gotta put on the suit and tie here, just because this is the case. Let me see if I can find the segment. Um, but here's the whole like intro to her video. We're not gonna do the full 30 minutes. I wouldn't do that. That's a video. That's gonna be a video that I'm gonna do later
our
on.
Government had a "That's So Raven" premonition. They had a vision and they saw into the future. They saw that Iran was going to attack Israel, so we went ahead and attacked Iran. Now we're in some bullshit war. No, I am not joking. That's basically what happened. Despite the Pentagon saying,
not gonna lie though, not gonna lie, she is kind of adorable for a leftist. Like a 2010 YouTuber.
there was no proof Iran was going to attack, it came to us in a dream. Source? We made it the fuck up. Now, there are many reasons floating around for this war. Israel, China, Russia, oil, Iran being 2 weeks away from having a nuclear bomb for the past 40 years, bringing democracy to Iran, and many other things, and we can discuss those things. Maybe it's all those things at the same time. But there is one thing I feel is just not getting enough attention.
It's kind of funny. She calls herself the Belle Delphine's. What does she call herself? Belle Delphine's like ugly Belle Delphine of the political sphere. Something like that. I was kind of cracking up when she said that, because then I had to think about it, like Belle Delphine, and then I had to think about the face. I was like, holy crap, she does look a lot. Not a lot. She does have similar features to Belle Delphine, which is crazy. But I wonder if that's how like people. I wonder if people have confused her. Right? Yeah. I think that's what it comes down to. You know.
And that is the many people in our government who believe in a literal doomsday prophecy about this war and are possibly pushing our president to take the necessary steps to make it happen. No, I am not joking. No, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is not the Candace Owens channel. This is a real thing, and we gotta talk about it. Now, I know I keep saying the next video is going to be a slop video. I know, I'm sorry, but things just keep happening. But that's okay, it will be over quick, and then we can get to the more important issue.
Not to mention, she drinks White Monster. Like, almost every video that she makes, that I've seen her in, that other people have reacted, she drinks White Monster. I really don't know how to feel about that. So I'm gonna go past her ad. All right. I'm gonna scroll past her ad.
2-week military operation, everybody. We did it.
Shoot, if you do come across this, or somebody does come across this, I didn't mean to go past your ad. I'm sorry. All right, but a lot of chicks love White Monster for some reason. I am glad I've never actually gotten into the White Monster craze. The closest thing to Monster that I have ever drank is the Monster Rehab, which is, and my favorite flavor for that one is tea and lemonade. Because its base is coconut water. And I know I sound so basic. I sound so basic by saying that, and I know I do. Oh my god, I love this Monster because it's made with coconut water. Oh my god. You don't even feel like you're drinking a Monster. Oh my god. So, but yeah. So an Arnold umbrella with coconut. that is, and you know what? I cannot lie. I've been drinking this for like the last 3-4 weeks. I'll go to the HEB, or I'll if it's on sale somewhere, like $2 for like 4 cans, or $2 off for 4 cans or whatever. I'll go ahead and buy the 4 cans, and because they have 2 other flavors. They have like a berry one, and which is trash. The berry one tastes like artificial berry. It's horrible. It's disgusting. And then the other one is peach, and that one's just as disgusting because that one is artificial peach flavoring. You can taste it. It doesn't taste like an Arnold Palmer, but they actually got the tea and lemonade one down. And brother, let me tell you. uh, let me tell you. But anyway,
Mission accomplished. I feel like every day I wake up and Trump is like, we won. And then something else blows up. And then again, he's like, we won. And then we're back at war, but it's not a war. But we won the war. Hey, maybe it will be over.
I've been trying to cut back on Monster. Been drinking the Ultra Passion Fruit one and the Guava Peach one. Dude, the rehab ones doesn't even like I'm telling you, the rehab ones stay away from. If you're trying to cut back on Monster, stay away from rehab. Stay away from it because the rehab doesn't even feel like you're drinking a Monster. It doesn't have that sharp taste to it. It doesn't feel like it doesn't taste medicine-y like Monster does. It's just stay away from it if you're trying to cut back on Monster because for me between the Rehab Monster and the Pacifico. I think it's Pacifico Punch or the Pacific Punch. I'm addicted to the Pacific Punch because it tastes like old school Hawaiian Punch to me.
Over by the time this video uploads because apparently Iran wants to talk to JD Vance. JD Vance is apparently the peacemaker here. Imagine the Iran war. Imagine possible World War III even. In the hands of a shoe-on head
Yeah.
man. We're all...
This was wild. I had no idea. Like, when I saw this, I had to go check JD Vance's Twitter, and sure enough, yes, he follows Shu, which is crazy. I'm telling you, this dude is going to be the next president of the United States. All right, and I'm hoping he's just as meme worthy as vice president as he is when he becomes president. It's going to happen. This dude is absolutely insane in terms of just like how he can take stuff on the chin, which is absolutely crazy.
all gonna die. People word for word, bar for bar, repeating the NPC talking points that we heard during the Iraq War. This Middle Eastern country is building weapons of mass destruction. They hate America. We're gonna bring them democracy. It's all the same shit. It's all the same people pushing for this shit. Only this time we have social media and we are seeing war propaganda from all sides being debunked right in front of our eyes. Social media has like truly been the worst thing that has ever happened to the government. Imagine like getting away.
Oh, 100% absolutely. I forgot about all the Pope and Bolt beams. Absolutely. Social media is the bane. It is the weakness to propaganda as it happens because it is so funny to watch like the Iranians throw out like AI videos of them shooting down and attacking our aircraft carriers and whatnot, and then of course we're just memeing them out of existence with our own stuff, and then for some odd reason India and Pakistan are getting involved in terms of like supporting Iran in the whole rage baiting online. It's absolutely hilarious. Now this is what made this weekend so crazy on X was that Japan and the United States have somehow crossed paths with each other online on the Twitter sphere, in the X sphere, and we have all bonded over some crazy aspects of wanting to kick third world countries out of our country, which is for the Japanese, I have to, I kind of have to side with the Japanese on that one. When you I understand your population is dying and it's slowly dying, but giving up your culture for that, no, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. But anyways, that's another discussion for another time. But this was absolutely insane. And so like now the Japanese and the Americans online, the Japanese don't want anyone but Japanese in their country. That is true. That is true. Even with like the people who are there for just for work, who are foreigners, like who posts the videos? I'm trying to remember who does it, but they generally post videos of like of people from all over the world who are living in Japan, working, and like who are basically saying like, look, this is how you need to act, this is how you need to behave. You know, you're a guest in this country, so therefore there's one way that you should behave, but then you should be better than that. And I kind of agree with that sentiment because I know like when I'm in a foreign country, I mean, look, I'm stars and stripes, red, white, and blue all day, every day. But I also know like when I'm in a foreign country, I need to be respectful, I need to behave, you know, depending on certain circles where I can, you know, kind of like act out, I can do that. But it's just like, you know, but you know what? The same thing. But the Japanese are suffering from the same problem that they did during World War II. All right, is that so? I don't know. You know, artificial wombs and AI and all that stuff are a thing. That might save the Japanese. You never know.
With decades
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and decades of propaganda now being debunked in real time by people called like Pee Pee Poo Poo 69.
Welcome to Strike Gently. We sell pins.
Let's check out some of our best sellers.
The Howdy Frog pin would like to tell you.
Brutal. Sorry, I have to like white balance my camera. I'm using. It's story time. I'm gonna be the new Miss Rachel. Today's number is 7, and we're gonna talk about Tower 7. Anyway, I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, I hope Iran wins. That's like, I saw people saying that, like, that is psychotic. I don't want to go down
That's crazy
with
to me right
USS Great Satan. You know what I mean? Like, if we're in a war, I want to win the war.
But generally, the people who are Americans, or they're Westerners who are saying like, "I hope Iran wins," they are just agitators, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, they're rage baiters. They are, especially if they're verified. If they're verified Twitter users and they're going off saying like, "I hope Iran wins the war. The United States is a horrible," like they are just trying to rage bait people into interacting with their account, and they can make all the comments they want as long as they don't have a community note. They will not make any money off of that post. But if they get community noted, but if they just say something to that effect and they just have, you know, whether it's positive or negative interactions, they're still getting paid. And people haven't figured that out yet. They are still getting baited into conversations with those accounts. Not me. I'm too good for that. I see the bait for what it is.
don't understand why there has to be a war. We know regime change doesn't work. We've tried this already. It never works. We always make shit worse. We're not the world police. There are so many people all over the world suffering, but our priority as America is to take care of Americans. And the American people are suffering. And now we're asking for $200 billion for war? $200 billion. Notice nobody's like, who's gonna pay for that? When it's shit like war, but when it's for your mom's diabetes medication, it's pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. $200 billion while Americans...
I do agree with Shu on this part. Oh, and it's terrible. It's terrible because they do take them seriously. It's crazy. Even the ones who are like, "Oh, I don't take this seriously. I'm just memeing." Why are you then Why are you giving them money? Like, don't give them money. And most of the time, they're people from like Kenya. They're people from India, Pakistan, China. Like, it's just crazy, and you're just feeding them. You're just giving them money. But I agree with Shu on this one. This is a take that I agree with Shu.
Situations have not gotten any better. In fact, they're just going to get worse now. Everything is going to get more expensive, but that's okay, apparently. That's okay. That's not a concern.
The U.S. economy is fundamentally sound, and that if it were to be extended, it wouldn't really disrupt the U.S. economy very much at all. It would hurt consumers, and we'd have to think about, you know, if that continued, what we would have to do about that. But that's like really the last of our concerns right now.
Consumers. That's what we are to these people. Just good little obedient bug people, gonna go see a Marvel movie, maybe buy a Labubu, eat a little Dubai chocolate. We have no soul, no lives, no families to take care of. We are just consumed. And when we can't take care of those families, you know what their solution is? What's their solution? Take fewer trips to Starbucks.
Okay, hot take. I kind of agree with this one. You know, there's alternatives to Starbucks. It's called your home. You know, you could easily, the money that you spend going to Starbucks and living your you know, your basic white girl summer or springtime, whatever the case is, or whatever season it is, you know, you could do that at home. You know, Madam Web, Madam Web, yeah, I know, right? I'm actually kind of happy I never saw that. Or you know, ever planned to see it. I don't know. Marvel movies just haven't been doing it for me. But yeah, you can just, you know, you don't have to go to Starbucks. You can go home, go to Homebucks. All right, you could do it from there. You know, it's kind of like you know, when I tell my coworker, like, you know, you don't have to go to Dutch Brothers every morning. You know, you don't have to do that. Why would you want to do that? You know, and in terms of like gas prices, I'm not gonna lie. Are gas prices getting higher? Of course they are. All right, the Strait of Hormuz is closed down, and it's going to take some time to reopen it for traffic to flow through there. All right. Now I'm kind of happy. So here's the crazy thing about this situation is, one, I don't like the fact that we're in a conflict, but also two, I'm kind of happy that this is the conflict that we chose to get into, because this has been something that that every president since I would even go as far back as Obama, maybe even Bush Jr., that had issues with in terms of like Iran. Not so much in the sense that like attacking Israel, because we can't always blame Israel for everything. Like, I mean, we can, but you know, it's one of those things where we shouldn't have to always. And the other thing is too, like, if we are going to talk about Israel, that shouldn't make me anti-Semitic by me questioning the loyalties, because it happens quite often on Twitter. Like, I'm not a pro-Israel person. I'm not. Which doesn't mean that I'm pro-Palestinian either. I don't like both sides of that conflict. But what I do know is that just because I want to question or critique the Israeli government doesn't make me anti-Semitic. It just makes me an individual who's aware of certain policies that certain governments are passing. Now, do I need to express my opinion about it? No, not really. But if we're going to go to war, if we're going to go fight, you know, and be tied to the hip with this country, then yeah, we probably should be able to criticize our friends, you know, or supposed friends, because this is starting to make me feel like we're back in 2000, like we're back in the 2000s, you know, which is crazy. And by 2000s, I mean like 2006, between 2006 and 2000, like 12. That's how it's feeling to me right now.
If I say what I am thinking, I will be banned off YouTube, so I will simply be silent. Gas is gonna be like $1 billion, but that's okay, guys. Short-term pain, long-term gain.
This is a short-term disruption for the long-term gain.
Short-term
Yeah.
gain for the long-term gain.
Okay, so this made me laugh because it seems it. Okay, so when I have noticed this, when conservatives want to talk about, you know, and some people who might come across this video be like, well, nerding around, Jason, you're conservative. No, I don't identify as a conservative. I am still a registered Democrat in the United States. I just don't vote Democrat anymore because there's not been a Democrat that has been me worth voting for. That's the thing. If the Democratic Party could just put somebody up who's not fucking insane, I would be more than happy to vote for that individual. I'd be more than happy to vote for that individual. But until then, I am not going to be voting for a Democrat for the foreseeable future. For the foreseeable future, because I'm seeing the lineup of what's going to happen. I'm going to be voting Republican probably till I'm in the ground, and then I'll start voting Democrat because the Democrats will take me to the voting booth, and I'll start voting Democrat. Then that's the that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be voting Republican while I'm alive, but when I'm dead, I'll go back to voting Democrat. That's what's just going to happen. And a lot of people don't know that about me. I am a registered Democrat. I like a lot of policies that Democrats had. All right. Yes, I voted for Trump, but Trump made more sense than Hillary did. And he definitely made way more sense than Kamala Harris did or Biden. So, I'm sorry. The Democratic Party needs to do something. And whatever it is doing now, it's not doing a good job. But yeah, rant over for at least for now. But when conservatives want to poke fun at the media to how they get all their talking points, it turns around and it happens on the opposite side, where the talking points for the conservative media all sound the same, just like it does on the liberal media side, which is hilarious to me. And I'm just like, guys, come on. Y'all do the same thing. We do the same thing. Just stop pointing the finger and just look. All right. And so here's the talking point. The talking point is short-term pain, long-term gain. Okay. This is what they were going to be saying.
Short-term pain be for long-term gain.
We're going to have some short-term pain with long-term gain.
Short-term pay for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain, yes, but we've got some long-term gain.
Short-term pain for American consumers.
Short-term is highly outweighed of the long-term benefits.
He tried to switch it up there. He wanted to be different. He didn't want to come off as an NPC like everybody else does. All right. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually said that term. Yeah, he didn't want to come off as I'm going with it. He did not want to come off as an NPC like the rest of his cohorts. All right. What about this guy?
Term pain for the long-term gain.
What in the NPCS is this? It is your patriotic American duty to unplug the TVs in your parents' and grandparents' house right now. Destroy their satellite dishes. Log them out of Facebook. It is up to us to stop the boomers from sending the Zoomers to another war in the Middle East. The amount of people who were anti-regime change war, last Thursday, who have completely 180'd is fucking insane. I literally have no theory of mind for being that hyper-partisan brained. A lot of these people are just...
Yeah, he doesn't have Grok AI installed in his brain like the other... Alright, let's take a look at this. Wide partisan divide over initial decision to use military force in Iran and how the U.S. action is going. Percentages say the U.S. Made the wrong decision using the military force in Iran. 59% said that. Let me see if I can turn this off. There you go. So 26 Republican or lean Republicans said it was the wrong decision. 71% said right decision. Democrats lean or Democrat lean. 88% said it was wrong. 11% it was kind of... Yeah, that's kind of crazy. In terms of regime changes, again, I'm going to agree with Shu's point here. We're not good at regime changes. We've never been good at regime changes. We're really good at destabilizing. Holy crap. The CIA is really, really good at destabilizing countries. We have been really good at it since the Cold War. All right? We know how to do that. What we don't know how to do yet is how to switch a political system or switch political leaders and keep them alive long enough to where they benefit us. All right. We haven't quite figured that out yet. All right. Now, the moment we do figure that out, then we can have that conversation. All right. of whether we should be world policing or, are we the baddies? But until then, the CIA just needs to get better. What they need to do is stop spying on me, watching my horse anime and boy love anime that I enjoy watching, and letting me just leave me alone and learn to practice. Play some video games. There's plenty of video games out there where you can practice regime changes. I've tried it. I'm not good at it. All right. But in the meantime, we got to be bothering everyday people. All right. Not fair. It's not fair.
Like totally for this now because it's Trump doing it. Some of you are cattle. Some of you are weak. You are submissive and breedable. The only politician I simp for is Huey Long, and that's because he's dead and can't disappoint.
The fact that Shuey said that they're breedable, man, down boy, down.
Me. The worst part about this whole war thing is not the death and destruction and possible economic collapse and nuclear fallout, but the fact that it's good for the Democrats.
You stop looking at my search history for top 10. Exactly. Amen, brother. Yee yee. That's right. All right. We know where all the animation budget goes to. We've all seen them.
They will probably win midterms, and if things get worse, they will probably win 2028 too. Without learning any lesson, without changing at all, they will literally run on Orange Man bad and win. I am tired of politics. I am tired of voting. Take away the 19th Amendment. I don't want it. I don't want it. The men can have it.
That is such a base take. Take the 19th Amendment. Love it. Absolutely based. Absolutely based. You cannot get any better than that. Absolutely love it. We're only 9 minutes in, and she has made several based comments, but this is probably has to be the most based out of all of them.
The men can deal with it. I'm done. I'm tired of voting for pee-pee or poo-poo and always getting diarrhea. I'm done. The end. End of video. Sorry. Mommy's not mad. She's just disappointed. Anyway.
She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to refer to herself as mommy. I don't appreciate that at all. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing when she did that. All right. That's all I got to say.
Like I said, there are many stated reasons behind this war. One of the things people blame this war on a lot is Israel. Many people believe that Iran was not an immediate threat to us, and that this is just another conflict that Israel is dragging us into, making us fight their war for them. Because of this and everything that's happened in Gaza, Israel's PR is in the toilet.
She did.
Polls are showing Israel is becoming extremely unpopular, especially.
Let's see. Young voters' view on Israel turns sharply, leading declines across age ranges. All right, let's see. What are the age ranges? 18 to 34. Oh my goodness. They need to go younger. Because this is the first year that I have taught high school where I've had sophomores. Sophomores, I think that's like what, 14, maybe 13. Well, let's just say late bloomers, 13. Okay? Who are anti-Israel. Like, it's crazy. I have never been around students who have been anti-Israel at this level and at this much. Especially the students. Like, there are a couple of students who are like, I'm gonna try to put this as nicely as possible. They will grow up to be NPCs. All right. they will grow up to be NPCs. And whatever news, social media, whatever they consume, they will live their lives according to that. All right, and they will be happy. But then the students who are cut above the others, who are not cattle, who are not sheep, who are not NPCs, the ones who are hyperly aware, those students are dangerous because those students are very aware of Israel. They're very aware of what's that kid's name? I think I talked about him about a month back. Fuentes. Is it Fuentes? I can't think of his first name. But anyways, using terms like goy and goyim, it's crazy. It's really crazy. I don't think I've ever taught a student body or a student cohort that have ever mentioned Israel in a negative light or just mentioned Israel in general. Most students don't even know where Israel is on the map. Much less be able to, disagree with them in some fashion.
Especially with young people. It's getting so bad that the Israeli government literally had to pay internet influencers to say good things about them. No, I'm not kidding. This is a real thing that happened. It was filed with the US Department of Justice. They undisclosed paid a bunch of YouTubers, TikTokers, Twitter personalities to run defense for them last year, and they are most likely still doing that today. Imagine losing the internet PR war to 20-year-olds with anime avatars making TikTok edits of Jeffrey Epstein and Agartha. And listen, I know many people are tired of everybody blaming Israel for everything. Like, oh, I stubbed my toe this morning, it was Israel. They associate criticism of Israel with people like Hassan Piker or Candace Owens. They are just tired, and I get it. Hopefully I can bring some nuance into this discussion. Not everything is Israel's fault, but when it comes to the Middle East in particular, when it comes to American foreign...
All right, I'm gonna jump ahead here. Here you go. Just a couple minutes in. Okay, I think it's right here.
To give pedophiles the death penalty, and people come out like, this is transphobic. It's like, what do you mean by that? It's good to question mainstream narratives. That's why this entire channel was created in the first place. We are here to criticize the media and the government that has a history of lying to us, especially on topics like this. If you don't think that's totally valid and normal, and you think I'm an anti-Semite for this, well... I have been called racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic for the past 15 years, honestly.
Let's see. What have I been called what have I been called since 2016? I have been called sexist. I have been called homophobic. I have been called transphobic. I have been called xenophobic. I have been called a race traitor. I've been called a Uncle Tom, even though I am not black. I have been called an Uncle Juan, which is more advent in terms of my culture. Anti-Semitic, that's just recent. So yeah. So at this point, being called all those things, even though I'm none of those things, mind you, all right. I like my off-color humor from like the 1990s up to the 2000s. I think comedy was pretty peak back then. Everybody got along. We didn't have any issues with mild racism. My sister makes these Israel jokes where if she had a bad teammate on a game or other teams, she said, okay, so you support Israel and are Benjamin or based. Like, yeah. You know what? All those times that I lost in World of Warships, it wasn't because I was bad. It was because of Israel. That's what it was. BB did not want me to win this time around. You know, I got sunburned over the weekend. That was Israel. That was Mossad. Mossad was using their death rays There's solar death rays against me, turning me into a shrimp. But yeah, I've been called all those things, and it's at this point I don't care. Oh, Nazi. That's right. I forgot I've been called Nazi. Um, so you can't, and I've always told people, you say that you call me these things, but when it comes time for you to meet a real one, nobody's gonna believe you. Nobody's gonna believe you. So all I'm saying is just, you can call me all you want, and you get all the fun names. Yeah, Nazi was just recently, a recent one. I've been called a racist for like the longest of time. It's really funny. Um, but I think the pinnacle, the peak for me was race traitor. I think for me that was the peak of all of the insults I had ever been called. I don't care if I was called xenophobic. I'm not xenophobic. You know, I am not transphobic either. I am not afraid of trans people. Trans people do not scare me. I have no issues with trans people. Um, you know, and just because of that, you know, I remember. Okay, so here's a funny thing. Here is a funny thing. Well, it's funny for me. All right, I remember one time I had gotten into a discuss. I was in a Discord group, um, a while back. A while back is like 5 years ago, maybe six. And I was sitting around in a Discord channel by myself. I forget, I think I was playing. I think I was playing Mountain Blade Warband, or maybe I was playing something, or Kingdom Come. I can't remember what it was. Whatever it was a medieval game. And people populate the channel. All right. Oh, cool. All right, people are in there, and I just start having a conversation. Yada 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 yada. And then the one topic that came up was the topic that I was hoping wouldn't come up, and that was politics. And I kind of try to dodge it too. And I said, I don't feel like talking about politics. I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm here to game, meme, you know, whatever. You want to talk about anime? Let's talk about anime. You want to talk about video games? Let's talk about video games. And so they were kind of quiet. They left the Discord, and then they came back, and I'm just like, "Ugh, okay. So kind of stayed quiet. Next thing you know, they asked me a question, and it had something to do with like LGBT stuff. And my response was like, I am not well versed in that idea. Um, you know, so I have no comment to make on the matter. So you're a homophobe. All right. Yeah, I'm here to talk to the e kittens, not about politics. That's right. That's right. Nerding around has like lots of e kittens. All right. That's for sure. All right. Two of them might be fanboys. Who knows? No, so the guy comes in and he just starts talking. He's like, so you're a homophobe. I said, no, I'm not a homophobe. I have no issues with homosexuals. I have no issue with them. Um, then why don't you want to talk about it? I said, because I don't know much to talk about. All right, if I knew more to talk about, I would have definitely talked about it. Uh, that goes with any other issue. I am not afraid to admit. I am not afraid to admit that I don't know something about whatever the topic is. Um, you know, honestly, what you said was probably the best response. It's that you won't comment because you're not knowledgeable about the top. And I was okay with that. I don't. You know, I have relatives who are homosexual. They're into the LGBT stuff, and it's just not my political, leaning or stance. I have no issues with it. I believe everybody should be treated fairly and equally under the law. Um, you know, my 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 faith is different from how I feel politically. You know, and it's just one of those things. And this guy wanted to go on a purity test with me. He wanted to see if I was, truly an ally. And I hate that word. Oh my god, I started hating that word so much. And it eventually came down to the point to where I was just like, look, man, I don't know what you want from me. I'm just here to enjoy video games, have fun. If you want to get to know me and you want to, kind of, I'm just some rando on the internet who watches like it sounds like 2020 behavior. It absolutely was. If you just want to ask, if you want to get to know me, you can get to know me. Um, I'm not gonna go for your purity test because if I told you today, like I went with like my brain, my brain doesn't know when to like say don't go to the extreme and don't let the extreme come out of your mouth. What my brain does is say the extreme to get him off your back, and then my mouth is like, we'll make this even more extreme than ever, you know. And it basically what I said. Look, if you want to know if I'm an ally or not, look, I watch I watch gay porn, or whatever. Something similar to that effect, and I have nothing to say about it. It was really weird, and the dude just kind of like he just left, and I was just like, okay, good, he left. He left me alone, and it was just like I sat there alone in the Discord channel, like, what did I say? Like, of all the things that I could have said, I said that. Really? You know what? This is my brain, and I'm terrified of it. Brain, you are not allowed to speak ever again. You're not allowed to talk because you take things to the extreme, and you shouldn't. All right. But anyways, let's take a look at what Shu has to say about Christian death cults. All right. To read the Bible. So now we worship a foreign country that was created 80 years ago. Damn, Shu. Damn. You cooked on, like, you were in the kitchen. You knew exactly what you were doing. We're going in the quote book. I mean, I probably should have said instead of that, like, hey, get off my back. I watch a lot of femboy YouTubers. Leave me alone. I think that would have been better. I think that would have been not as extreme. But then also thinking about it, maybe that is also extreme because femboys have a tendency to get into a lot of trouble. That is, I have learned that from my coworker and the internet that they have a tendency to get into lots of trouble. Like, apparently there is a pipeline. There is a pipeline that eventually leads to Nazism, but it's through femboys. I kid you not. I have no idea why we're talking about this right now. It's what? It's 11 o'clock at 11 o'clock at night. This is nerding around after dark at this point. Everybody else should be asleep at this point. All right, so if you're under the age of 18, you probably shouldn't be in this conversation. This is what I need to have, right? I need to have like a segment of like nerding around after dark. Only the spiciest of chats come in. All right. Oh, that sounded so gay. I'm not gonna lie. Real spicy chat. But yeah, we can we can add that to the that should be like if I could have emojis that should be that should be one. If I was also you've noticed it too, Dragon? I thought I was crazy. Like when I told people about this pipeline, all right, nobody believed me. First off, they're asking me why are you watching Fanboys for one thing, all right. It's okay. Your normal voice sounds gay too. That's great. Like my version of like a gay impression is like from the '90s, and it's just so effeminate. Sometimes it's not even funny. It's okay. Your normal voice, whatever. All right. Anyways, this woman was cooking in the kitchen with this tweet. She did a good job. She knew exactly what she was doing.
So, let me explain it simply. There are people in our government right now who believe in a biblical prophecy about Israel. Pete Hegseth, Lindsey Graham, Mike Pompeo, Ted Cruz, Mike Johnson, Mike Huckabee, and many, many others believe a massive war surrounding the Middle East will bring Jesus Christ back. They want this. To them, this is the good ending. We'll all be saved. Great. Awesome. Unfortunately, many Americans and many people all around the world will die in a giant nuclear war. Not great. Bad, even. This particular religion is called dispensationalism, a type of evangelical Christianity that became popular in the 20th century. That's right, today we are talking about the EQ, the evangelical question. Evangelicals are one of the
So, okay, so what I saw, like I stopped at this point in the video, and I had to look this stuff up. All right. Now, I remember as a kid growing up watching, like staying up late at night over the summer, and I would see these televangelists, these TV preachers, and they would be. Now this is getting interesting. Okay, good. So late at night, I would watch these TV preachers, and these TV preachers would be talking about the end of days, doomsday, this Armageddon fight that's supposed to happen in the Middle East, you know this trial and tribulation. Now, of course, I'm like 12, 13, 14 years old. I have no idea what's going on. I'm still trying to figure out my own faith. I'm still trying to figure out who I am in terms of religion. All right. Uh, and then eventually I make the decision to be agnostic and then eventually lean towards atheism. Um, because I started watching more and more of these televangelists and these evangelicals, and I'm just like, these guys are crazy. These guys are absolutely insane. Is this what people believe? Like, is this what Christianity is? I don't want to be a Christian if this is for this absolutely insane nonsense, But anyways, I'll let you continue.
Largest religious groups in America, and they are a huge, important voter bloc. Important detail to remember. What you have to understand is evangelical Christianity is absolutely fucking obsessed with the end times. This isn't just like an...
They are. They absolutely are. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, the level of evangelicals. And don't get me wrong, hashtag not all, but a majority of evangelicals, especially in the South, are completely have a hard-on for the end of days. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a good end of days movie like Constantine or Left Behind, which is like a crazy evangelical movie in and of itself. I think Nicolas Cage did an adaptation of the first book. It's like 3 or 4 books, but anyways, they have a serious hard-on for the end of days, which is really weird. to me. It's absolutely crazy that you have this group of Christians that are just like, "Yay, let's bring on the end of days!" Like, woohoo! You know, they're the ones where were crying and making videos about that one day last year when they said that the world was ending. If you yes, that is yes, it is them. Those are the ones that do stuff like that. It's absolutely insane. And I'm telling you right now, had I not realized later on in my faith journey that I wasn't my particular faith did not fall in line with that, I probably would have remained an atheist, which is crazy. All right, but let's you continue.
Offhand thing that's mentioned in the Bible, and they bring up sometimes, no, this is like their whole thing. It's like all their talks, their sermons, their books. Basically, they are extremely horny for the end of the world. And many of those people are in the president's ear right now.
Strike and 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 strike. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rite.
I like how the guy in the background is just like walking past her, like reading. Like, this bitch is at it again. You know? Lady, you're not speaking in tongues. Alright. I guess it's the whole we're saved and we're going to endless paradise and joining the Holy Father. At least that's what's preached a lot in those churches when growing up going to church. I guess that's what it is too. Maybe like I've been to some Southern Baptist church. I've been to some Southern Baptist. Before I married my wife, I dated a few Southern Baptist girls, and they would take me to church with them, and it was interesting. It was cool. The kind of like, and these were not like your white people churches. These were your black churches. These were like, hit your neighbor, find your neighbor to your left and hit him on the shoulder and say it's going to be all right. And the next thing you know, you have like grandma, gently punching you in the shoulder, saying like it's okay, it's going to be all right. Like, ow! First off, all right. Second off, thank you. But I've been to a couple of those churches where it's very interesting to see. It's very lively, I have to say. I've been to Methodist churches. I've been to Presbyterians. I've been to a lot of like Protestant churches, and and it's just like, oof, man. I've even sat in on a Mormon, I don't know what they would call it, gathering, prayer circle. I don't know, whatever it was Mormon, and it was like I got up and walked out. Very true, Dragon. Very true. 100% agree. All right. Like what this woman is doing up here, like speaking tongues or whatever, like I'm sorry. And I know as a Christian myself, I shouldn't be making fun of other Christians who are attempting to feel the word, but there's just one thing that I have an issue with. And I know this is going to make me sound very sexist, but then again, I don't care. Women should not be preachers. Women should not be preaching the word. All right? That is something that's been around for a long time. We can get into the theological discussion about it some other time, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't look right, and that's just me. And I will gladly wear the moniker of like sexist. I need to like come up with a pin or something that I can like some type of button, a hotkey that I can press. So like, if I make a sexist comment, I can just press it as a trigger warning. Sexist comment about to be made. But of course, going back, that is a Roman Catholic. That's a Roman Catholic stance. Women should not be preaching. But anyways, let's check out this person here.
That schizo is Paula White Kane, Trump's current spiritual advisor. Like most evangelicals, she
Wait, she is the spiritual advisor to the president. I don't like that at all. Why? Her face, man. I don't know. It seems like something you would see off of like Men in Black. It's really. I don't like her face. I think it's because her forehead is a little too large and her nose is a little too pointy. Like, she doesn't look normal. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being too mean-spirited. Maybe.
considers Israel her spiritual home, thinks Christians should be mandated to go to Israel in order to go to heaven, and believes that backing Israel is a biblical mandate. Now, what the f am I talking about? What do these people mean by biblical mandate? Well, thanks to the Scofield Bible, a version
I've never met a female preacher or pastor or priest or whatever. Only seen them on TV shows, although I just don't care because I'm not religious. Yeah, you know, and that's fine too. Like, I've only met a few. I've met a few in my life so far in my lifetime, and it was like she's got crazy Botox then, right? Now, I've never seen this book before, the Scofield Reference Bible. I've never seen this. I don't own a copy of it. I have a copy of like the King James version, and then I have like my own personal one. But I've never seen this particular one. I'm not familiar with this at all.
Version of the Bible that placed little like notes next to everything that explained the biblical text. Evangelicals believe it is their duty to protect Israel. You're probably thinking like, okay, so what? Like, we have overlapping interests with Israel. Who cares if these evangelicals want to protect Israel, right? Well, there's a little more to it. Basically, the evangelical dispensationalist belief goes like this. Step 1. The Jewish people return to the land of Israel. Step 2. Israel becomes the main character in a
Okay, I am distracted currently right now with her glasses and her face. She looks like a librarian. And you know what? I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Let her continue.
massive war. Step 3. Global destruction called the tribulation occurs. Step 4.
Okay, so this is crazy right here. Step 3, global destruction called the tribulation. I have done a little bit of research on the tribulation, and of course step 2 as well. All right. So evangelicals believe that there is this war that's going to happen, that Israel is going to be the center of it, okay? And there's going to be like according to biblical prophecy, or what's in like all of this revolves around Revelation, the last book of the Bible. And supposedly there is this conflict of like 4 great kingdoms, okay? 4 great kingdoms that are going to come together against Israel, okay? And I think like one is Russia, another one is China. I can't remember entirely, but supposedly like there will be signs. So there will be signs before this conflict happens, and that's going to be the literal horsemen of the apocalypse. You know, pestilence, disease, pestilence is disease, famine, war, stuff like that. All of those guys are going to be seen. You know, they're going to make themselves well known, and then there's like this huge conflict, this huge war is going to take place, and these 4 separate kingdoms are all going to stand against Israel. Israel's going to win, and this is going to bring about, according to evangelical Christians, not the coming of Christ, but it's the process of it happening. And then you're going to have like, you know, before, but I'm also getting ahead of myself. before the tribulation or the massive war happens, there's what's called the ascension. Or I think not the ascension. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It might be called the ascension. I don't know. But it's where random people are chosen by God to go to heaven before all of this happens. And I don't know what the number of people is, but it's some crazy number. I think the Jehovah Witnesses think that it's like 1,200 people or something. I don't know. It's really weird. But anyways, so then you'll have the rapture. That's what it was called. It's called the rapture. You idiot. So yeah, so the rapture happens. People, get beamed from Earth to heaven, and there's these great mysteries of like they really do believe this stuff. They really do believe this stuff. Like there is let's see. I probably shouldn't be doing this on this YouTube, but I'll filter it up. This guy I've seen on TV before. Right here. So let's just watch like a couple of minutes of this.
This journey with childhood cancer comes at you in waves. Every day.
According to the Bible, the rapture is an event when people are physically taken up by God into heaven. According to 1 Corinthians 15:51, Paul explains that there will be a group of people who don't die, but will be changed and transformed in a quick moment. And this rapture gives many Christians hope because it means that some people will be able to escape death and go straight to heaven. So for those of you who question whether the concept of a rapture is biblical, it is. In fact, there are two people of the Old Testament who never died and went to be with God. Enoch from Genesis 5:24 and Elijah in 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 11. Okay, so that is a bit of a reach going into the Old Testament. And the only reason why I say it's a bit of a reach, and this is based on my own studying, which could be flawed. I'm not a devout Catholic. I'm not a devout Christian. I am a practicing Catholic, which means that I will make mistakes. That's the key difference between how I see myself. And the only reason why this is a bit of a stretch is because the Old Testament really has no validity. I mean, there's some validity to it, but really, most Christians do not base any type of. I guess there's more nuance to it. Most of the stuff comes from the New Testament, not the Old Testament, because the New Testament, of course, is the Word of Jesus. All this other stuff. Anyways, but it's kind of weird that we're going to go to the Old Testament to kind of prove that the rapture is an actual thing when it supposedly doesn't exist. But yeah, the rapture is like, that's basically what it means. Like, people will be sucked up into heaven, and that's what's going to happen. Then after the rapture, that's when the Antichrist will make himself known. All right, according to evangelicals, like she's really going into like the Cliff Notes. She's going into the Cliff Notes version of how this is supposed to go down. So, rapture first. What the shit? So, like, rapture first, Antichrist second, then the tribulation, and then the war is called Armageddon, and then Armageddon, tribulation, something to that effect. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, but anyways, let's continue on with Shu here.
Armageddon happens, and step 5, Jesus Christ returns. Behold, the fruits of Martin Luther. To get my biases out of the
Yeah, I'm sure Martin Luther is like rolling in his grave right now. Look, Martin Luther, this is what you created. All right, you could have just, you know, made your peace with the church, but no, you went ahead and decided to disobey, and instead of trying to get the church to reform, you wanted to create your own stuff. Well, this is what you did.
Way a little bit. I was born and raised Catholic.
Woo!
Baptized, communion, confirmation,
Oh, she's
catechism
one of
class
us.
for years, all that stuff. I stopped caring for a while. I had like a edgy atheist stage as a teenager.
Oh my god. Does every Catholic teenager go through this phase? Because every single Catholic teenager that I've ever, like, every Catholic that I have spoken to in my old age has gone through a phase of where they just did not care about the faith. And it usually happens with cradle Catholics. Cradle Catholics always seems like they always go through a phase of just like, I don't want to be associated with the church anymore. I'm going to go do my own thing. You know, whatever the case is. That's crazy. I think that's wild.
Then I was agnostic for a while, and then in 2020, when I moved back home during COVID, I returned to Catholicism. Needless to say, I am comfortable with identifying as Catholic again today. I don't talk about this because it's not relevant.
New Testament version have always been because it's because there were a lot of people. Yeah, see that's the thing, and this is where like a lot of atheists are always just like, especially like Reddit level atheists, which are not the best atheists, because they're just like, oh well, then Leviticus says you can't do this, and Numbers says you can't do that. You're right. You're absolutely correct. It did say that. All right, the Israelites were not allowed to do those things, but the New Testament kind of nullifies a few of those things. Like for instance, the one that I get into with my uncle, he's a Pentecostal, which is an evangelical Christian, and Pentecostals do not drink alcohol. Like they do not like drinking alcohol. They don't do those things because it's not in the Bible. Little did he know that drinking alcohol is in the Bible. Okay? Because for them, when Jesus made water into wine, he made it into grape juice. No, he made it into wine. The process of fermentation has been around for a very, very long time. Calm down there, Kurt. Shut up. you know, um so the thing is that fermentation has been around for a long time. My uncle believes that alcohol never exist, like shouldn't exist. It's a man-made well, yeah, it is a man-made conception, but Jesus did drink wine. All right. Now the other thing is too pork. A lot of people say like, oh well, Christians, you shouldn't be eating pork or seafood. We can eat pork and seafood. It's totally okay to eat pork and seafood because Jesus said that all food is clean to eat. Because what goes into our bodies does not corrupt our heart. And therefore, and because it comes out like I can't tell you quote for quote because I just don't have my Bible in front of me. But basically, food is clean where we can eat shrimp, we can eat lobster, crabs, and all those things, shellfish and whatnot. We can eat pork. Those are totally okay to eat. We can wear clothing. We can wear clothing that's made of two different fibers, or two different whatever they try to say it is. Like there's a lot of things that a lot of people say like, oh yeah, the Old Testament says this, but they don't take into account the New Testament. As even if you take a look into the New Testament says directly that Jesus said, I'm not here to abolish the law, but I'm here to fulfill it. So there are certain aspects of the law that are fulfilled that Israel doesn't know, that Israel should no longer do. And they don't do it in some aspects. also too. Like they don't go around stoning people, at least, for the most part. But anyways, carry on, Shu.
But it's relevant here. I have many Protestant friends, a few are evangelical. This isn't to like hate on them, even though I'm going to be making jokes, but it's
You know what? I'm not going to say nothing.
just to shine a light on a heavy bias some people in power may have towards the Middle East. If a bunch of Catholics were in power pushing for us to go to war for the Vatican or something, that would also be a conversation worth having.
It would be. It would be. But as a Catholic, we should be, we should be totally okay with it. I'm just saying. But anyways.
But that is not happening right now. And if
Exactly.
you're wondering why Ted Cruz suddenly out of
This dude pissed me off. I didn't think he could piss me off to the level that he did, but he pissed me off. He royally pissed me off with some of the AI slop that he put out on Twitter, and that he has been putting out basically anti-Catholic what do you call them, essays. All right, I didn't appreciate I didn't think he could piss me off, but he pissed me off. All right.
nowhere is sharing like 10,000 word AI slop Twitter essays about how Catholics are parasites. It's because he's butthurt that Catholics don't believe in the same doomsday prophecy about Israel as him and other evangelicals do.
And we don't believe in this nonsense. That's why, a lot of people will say, Catholics are Christians, but not all Christians are Catholic. All right, we don't fall in line with this nonsense about praying for the end of days or anything like that. No, that's not something, because we shouldn't be concerned about those things. It is very clear. It is very clear that we should not be concerned about those things, and this is why Catholics get picked on quite a bit. All right, is because of we don't fall in line with other Christian, or I should say Protestant denominations. All right. Those Protestants forget they broke away from the church. All right. They're the ones that decided to deviate from the main story here, and they wanted to be the main character. All right. And I will say this. Catholics have other things to worry about than having to worry about the end of days. Okay? Because even in Revelations, it tells us we will not know the day or the hour when God will come back. We won't. So therefore, we should not be concerning ourselves with such things. We should be concerning ourselves with devoting our lives to Christ and doing things, in that manner. But anyways, I digress. Let's go continue on with Shu.
Catholics are not religiously obligated to support Israel. Same with Orthodox, and honestly,
that's another thing too. Really quick, we don't have to support Israel. We don't. All right. That's why a lot of Catholics do not support Israel. Because here's the thing about a lot of the evangelicals. A lot of evangelicals equate the Israel of the Bible to the modern state of Israel. And that's not the case. That's not the case. All right. Catholics, on the other hand, we're just like, what is Israel doing? Oh, they're on that shit again. We're not going to even bother with it.
Most branches of Christianity, evangelical Protestants, on the other hand, don't know how to fucking read and think the modern state of Israel is the same Israel mentioned in the Bible. This would be like the fry cook at McDonald's being named Jesus and you falling to your knees and worshiping him as the savior, and then blowing up the world for him.
I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate. And I've worked every day to do that. Growing up in Sunday school, I
voted for this man twice. I voted for him twice. Because DNC hasn't put anybody up worth voting for. I really thought he was above the I'm going to hate on Catholics. All right, kind of thing. I really thought he was better than that, but no, not at all. You know,
taught from the Bible. Those who bless Israel.
That's why he watches like Fuda porn and hentai. All right, that one time he got caught, and he was just like, it was just for research. No, dude, you were kind of like when Alex Jones got caught watching trans porn. When the camera pan, I remember that too. I was watching Alex Jones, and the camera panned over his desk like it usually does, and on his phone he literally had like tranny porn going at it. Like it was just like it was so bad. Like the optics of that was just so bad, which was hilarious. And I'm just like, yeah, just research. It's just research. It's just research. All right, because the Hillary Clinton's a lizard person. All right, from Venus, and this is how they this is how they corrupt the minds of the youth. But absolutely peak for Alex Jones. You know what? That still didn't cause me to not watch Alex Jones at all. I like the guy. I think he's funny. He's meme worthy. But man, they're putting chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay. All right.
Will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two,
hold on.
What is he? Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh God, that's so frustrating.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel.
To think all of this could have been avoided if we simply named Israel Sand, New Jersey. Dispensationalists take the Bible extremely literally. They're basically like the autism of Christianity, which is why so many Protestant evangelicals in our government are Zionists. Now, let's discuss the word Zionist, because I know that word makes some of you cringe, and I don't blame you, because it's kind of just thrown around so haphazardly today. It basically means nothing anymore. There are Zionists of all races and religions. Not all Jewish people are Zionists. Not all Zionists are Jewish. Most Zionists in our government are not Jewish. So don't let them ever guilt trip you into thinking you're anti-Semitic for criticizing people like Ted Cruz. Also, it's not anti-Semitic to criticize the Jewish people in our government either. Like Randy Fine, bro is a freak. There is a reason the first time I shook Netanyahu's hand, I did not wash it until I could touch the heads of my children. What the fuck?
Oh man. Arnold Schwarzenegger touched his hand. I am never washing it again. Oh my god. That's cringe. That is cringe.
Anyway, contrary to popular belief, Zionism does not mean when you passively support Israel as a good ally to have in the Middle East. That is not what being a Zionist is. It's a whole ideology. It's a movement. Now, one of the major characters who believes in this doomsday lore anime is Lindsey Graham. If you don't know who
Oh my god, I was wondering when we were gonna get to him. I was wondering when we were gonna get this is the boss. This is the boss of Zionism right here. Right here. This is the final this is the maybe not the final boss, but this is the second to last boss of Zionism right here. Man, I just remembered an old memory from Sunday school. We had to put stickers of band-aids over Jesus' wounds while he was on the cross, and that is crazy. Meanwhile, Catholics in Sunday school. All right, kids, make sure you get the blood. Make sure you get the blood all nice and red. Yes, because that is Because Jesus died for your sins, kids. All right, just remember that. All right, this is what his sacrifice looked like. So therefore, keep it etched in your memory of what this looked like. Yeah, yeah. You know, when I hear people talk about Sunday school, and I think about like when I went to Sunday school and I went to like CCE and catechism classes, and I'm just like, you know, there was a time where I went to a non-denominational church close by to the house. It was called New Hope Church. It's still there today. It's for a non-denominational church, it's not bad. Though they do give you grape juice and like a little wafer in a little cup. But man, you know what? Every morning, Sunday, they have like Shipley's donuts, iced tea, coffee. Like they have a whole shebang, you know. And I started screaming my head off, covering my ears, and I wanted to pretend to be possessed or something. And the other kids copied me the poor thing. Oh man, it wasn't a bad church, but it was clearly a non-denominational church. It wasn't too bad. I remember the pastor, Pastor Tim. Can't remember his last name, but good guy, you know. But anyways, Lindsey Graham here, who's totally not gay, by the way. All right, Lindsey Graham is totally not gay. He's not. He doesn't have like a roommate or anything, you know.
Lindsey Graham is, you've probably seen him on Fox News a few times. He's been on like every single night the past 3 weeks. To make it short, he is the senator of South Carolina, and he is a notorious neocon
Yeah.
warhawk. He has never met a war he didn't like. He is basically the real-life version of the Holden Blood Feast meme. That is Lindsey Graham.
Wait, what? 118 years old. Please, God, just let us nuke Iran. Nothing else matters. I'll do anything, please.
So-
Wait, no, go back.
The real-life version of the Holden Blood Feast.
I just want to see burning flesh one last time before I die. He's a respectable bipartisan.
Used to be. That is Lindsey Graham. So Lindsey, girl's name by the way, believes that defending Israel is God's will and has said things like,
if America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us.
and I wouldn't blame anybody if they assumed he was the senator of Tel Aviv and not the senator of South Carolina. When his own state was hit with a massive hurricane, bro said this.
God bless you, but look, you know, I've been going all over South Carolina like most people. I hadn't slept much. But look what's going on in Israel. They're running out of ammunition in Israel. We have to help our friends.
Bro literally said, my constituents are suffering, but Israel's running out of bullets. Bro, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't. Like, what the hell, dude? I haven't been getting much sleep. I haven't been getting much sleep like most North Carolinians. But what about Israel? All right, they're running out of bullets. they're running out of bullets in Israel. We need to help Israel. They're our friend. Good Lord, man.
The man even outright says he would support a foreign country over the citizens of America.
All the anti-Semites to all the isolationists, I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day.
The anti-Semites and the isolationists? The isolation... Saying you aren't with Americans and are with a foreign country is so fucking insane for a united...
Yeah, I agree. For just like the same way Ilhan Omar, the representative from Minnesota, says that she will support Somalia and Somalians in Somalia and not support Americans or her constituents. She deserves that criticism, just like Lindsey Graham should be criticized for supporting Israel and not Americans. That's wild. That's wild. I cannot stand this level of hypocrisy at all. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's certain my hypocrisy only only goes so far, and this is it. This is the limit. This is the very limit of my hypocrisy.
United States politician to say, how is this guy still in office? This is like borderline treasonous.
Israel and the United States, you just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks meaning what?
We're going to blow the hell out of these people.
I'm sorry, we're gonna what? It's not.
We're going to blow the hell out of these people.
First off, you know what? Nope. Not gonna say it.
Sorry, we're gonna what? It's not war if the balls don't touch. Okay, so Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz are weird, American last freaks who believe this doomsday shit, but like, who cares, right? There's a bunch of those guys, like, who gives a fuck what they believe? Well, here's the issue. Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham might be the little birdies in Trump's ear pushing us to do this war.
I urged the president to launch this attack. As you noted, I was with him.
Yeah, national TV, by the way, you're right.
Friday before the attack launched on Saturday. Pretty much the whole time he was asking me what I thought we should do on Iran.
And
oh my God. If that is true, if they are talking into the president's ear about having to deal with this nonsense, this is going to piss me off. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a fight that has been coming between the United States and Iran for a very, very long time. I was hoping that it would be more, because I would prefer the war to happen in a natural way. But if this is the case of what happened with Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz speaking in the ears of the president, because on one end, you have a president of the United States who says no new wars, all right, no forever wars. Okay, cool, awesome. But here we are in Iran. Now, don't get me wrong. It's only day 20-something. The president only has so many days to do something within his Emergency Powers Act, all right? That has been around since like the 60s or 70s, by the way. Thank you, Vietnam, for that. But anyways, the absolute nonsense. Now I'm hearing talk, I'm hearing rumors. Supposedly we're moving more troops along with other nations close to Iran, which means that we're gonna have boots on the ground. We better not have boots on the ground, because here's the thing, and Shu said it a little earlier in the video. If we put boots on the ground in Iran, all right, it's starting to look that way, dude. It is starting to look that way, and this is crazy. If we put boots on the ground, all I know is that JD Vance, better come with the fire, because if not, the DNC is going to put somebody up. And they're going to do a horrible job running the country for the next 4 to 8 years. And they are going to make it extremely impossible for any form of populist movement to get off the ground on the right. That's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. Because we have an opportunity here to be isolationists, to focus on our country, to do what we need to do and not worry about anybody else. But no, this is strange to me. Now that she's bringing all this stuff to my attention right now, this is very, very weird.
Lindsey Graham apparently had direct contact with Netanyahu. To help make the case on Iran, Graham traveled several times to Israel in recent weeks, meeting with members of the country's intelligence agency. They'll tell me things our own government won't tell me, he said. He spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, coaching him on how to lobby the president for action. Netanyahu showed the president intelligence that persuaded Trump to go ahead, Graham said. Ah yes, Netanyahu, someone we should definitely listen to when it comes to this subject.
There is no question whatsoever that Saddam is seeking and is working and is advancing towards the development of nuclear weapons. No question whatsoever.
No question whatsoever.
Never found a damn thing. Never found a damn thing. Oh, man.
It's crazy how I literally warned about this happened. Like months ago, I literally warned the administration, keep away from Lindsey Graham. Trump, listen to me. Wait, Trump doesn't watch this shit. Vance, listen to me. Get people like Lindsey Graham far away from anyone in power right now. This little Venezuela stunt was cute, but we are not touching any other countries. We are not touching the Middle East, especially. No more Middle East. We all have Middle East fatigue. I just need to say, I don't like being correct about this stuff. I would rather be wrong. I would love nothing more than to be f***ing wrong about everything. If we don't put boots on the ground, if we don't create a new forever war, that would be the best thing ever. You can come back to this video and say, na boo boo, you were wrong. And I would be like, hell yeah. Fantastic. That would be wonderful. I will personally write a handwritten letter apologizing to Cat Turd for not trusting the plan. I don't know what the f*** is gonna happen. All I know is I saw a commercial for the military with white men in it. So, not a good sign. And right now, as I am making this video, our good friend Lindsey Graham is talking about putting boots on the ground.
Here's what I tell President Trump. Keep it up for a few more weeks. Take Carg Island, where all of the resources they have to produce oil. Control that island. Let this regime die on a vine.
Is this going to, though, take Carg Island? Is it going to involve U.S. troops on the ground?
We did Iwo Jima. We can do this.
We can do Iwo Jima. We can do this. Dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Your voice is annoying. Sorry. Historically speaking, and I'm sure Shu is going to mention this, Iwo Jima was one of the bloodiest battles of World War II. Like, the bloodiest. So equating us taking that island off of the coast of Iran and equating it to Iwo Jima. You know, goddamn well we ain't find nothing. Thank you, Jen Rummy. Thank you. I appreciate your candor and your quotable statement. You are just quotable. Thank you, Jen. All right, one love. He sounds gay, bro. He's totally not gay though. He's totally not gay. He's as straight as an arrow that curves to the left. Oh man, look. When I first heard Lindsey Graham speak, I was like, "Holy, this dude is gay." and then I got called out saying like, "That's you can't be talking about him because he has an effeminate voice. That's stereotyping. You're homophobic." My bad. Oh, anyways, yeah. Iwo Jima, bloodiest battle of World War II. I'm pretty sure she's going to talk about that, or at least mention it. Hopefully, she mentions it. If she doesn't mention it, I'll be kind of upset. But yeah, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We can't do this.
We did Iwo Jima. We can do this. What the f? For those unaware, Iwo Jima was one of the most brutal battles of World War II. About as many Americans died in that battle than all of the Iraq and Afghanistan war combined. This guy's a f***ing freak, dude. Also, who the f*** is we? We? You enlisting, Lindsey Graham? Bitch.
Well, we have the best chance in 2,000 years when Iran is neutralized.
I'm sorry, I thought this war started in 1979 when the Iranian
Okay. I'll let her finish her thought.
Revolution overthrew the puppet government we installed in the 1950s. But I guess I was wrong. This war actually started 2,000 years ago. That's right, it's not about weapons of mass destruction. It's not about bringing democracy to Iran. Turns out we're fighting an ancient desert war. Exactly what MAGA voted for. Another fact.
It's okay, I've been homophobic before for making gay jokes. Me homophobic somehow. Oh man, look, all I can say is this. All right, this conflict has been around for 2,000 years. All right, and I'm gonna have to disagree with Shu on this one. This is the first time. This is the first in the video that I'm actually going to disagree with Shu. All right, I've been agreeing with her take for the most part. All right, it wasn't a puppet government that we installed. It was a puppet government the British installed. We just benefited from the puppet government. I'm just saying, okay? Granted, this is it feels like tomato potato. I mean tomato tomato, but this is really a case of potato tomato. All right? It's very different. We didn't install the Shah. The British government installed the Shah. We just backed the Shah because he liked us. All right? And not to mention Iran in the 1970s was a pretty good country. All right. If you've never actually Okinawa is actually one of the bloodiest. Yes, this is true. What was I gonna say? What was I saying? Damn it! You messed up my train of thought. What was I gonna say? How dare you? I forgot. Oh well.
Factor that is relevant to these warmongers banging on the war drum is, of course, money. Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham receive a
holy crap, man. Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. That's what I wanted to look for. Let's see. Like, if you take a look at Iran in the 1970s, like this is a country you would not recognize at all. Like, look at this. These are Iranians from the 1970s. This is a completely different country. Look at that. Iran 1971, 2022. This right here. All right. What the absolute, like, what's this? Iran magazine shoots from the 19th show how women dress pre-revolution. That's pretty liberating. You know, and then you got like these people. You know, Durka. Thank you, South Park. You know, look at that. Kind of thick though, but still, you know, it's all right. This angers me. That's crazy. Look, this looks like something that you would see in South Texas. Yeah, they could pull off the Hispanic look and vibe of the 1970s. This definitely looks like, like my dad hanging out with some of his buddies from high school. Like I could definitely see that. All right. Anyways, yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. What about the 79 revolution? What about the 79 revolution, Robert? All right. What about it? All right. No, this is crazy. $4 million to South Carolina to Lindsey Graham.
Ton of money from AIPAC. Many politicians in our government are paid by AIPAC, Democrat and Republican, which is why you probably don't see a ton of anti-Iran war stuff coming from even the Democrats, when they would usually jump on literally anything to make Orange Man look bad. The only thing Democrats and Republicans can agree on is protecting pedophiles and war. Great. AIPAC stands for the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Now, you might sometimes see people bring up, like, AIPAC money. Like, oh, this guy takes AIPAC money. And maybe some of you don't really understand, like, why that's a big deal. So I'm going to explain it in a nuanced way you can hopefully understand. The reason why people don't like big money being involved in politics in general is because it can literally purchase the way a politician will govern. For example, if a billionaire CEO of a health insurance company donates to a politician, you can bet that politician is probably not going to advocate for things like socialized healthcare or anything like that. And if a candidate takes a lot of money from something like AIPAC, that is a sign they will probably have a heavy bias toward war in the Middle East. That's why people prefer when a candidate only takes like small donations from voters. There's no corporations, billionaires, or foreign governments pulling the strings there. Like how I take money from you, the people. I am funded directly by Big Simp. Some politicians get paid a lot by AIPAC.
Holy crap. Well, holy crap. Anyways, yeah, at least she's honest. She knows that her simps pay for her stuff. And I can appreciate the honesty.
AIPAC, and some politicians sell out for the price of a Big Mac and fries.
Well, of course,
Yikes. Yeah. Weird fact, one of the top donors to AIPAC was actually the creator of OnlyFans who died recently.
That's wild. But also, an Israel supporter, and he's also a skin hustler. Who would have known?
He gave like millions of dollars to AIPAC, and AIPAC gives millions of dollars to the people in Congress. So in a weird way, our government was partially funded by OnlyFans whores.
Yes. That's right. Make sure you tell if you see a thought, make sure you tell her thank you. All right. Oh, Christ almighty. Hey, shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit my microphone.
Checks out. But you gotta understand, a lot of these guys would do it for free. Hypothetical. One country must no longer exist. A, the United States. B, Israel. Choose. Read Revelations and report back. When people talk about the separation of church and state, this is the shit they're talking about. What the f***? Like, what do you mean there's an American politician saying he would rather the nation he allegedly serves be destroyed over evangelical Wakanda? Get this guy out of here! I actually responded to this guy. We had a little Twitter fight, and he just told me to read the Bible. There are people in charge of our country right now who believe we have to go to war for a biblical prophecy. That is a giant, major conflict of interest. We need to be asking people like Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham, Mike Huckabee, Mike Johnson. We need to be asking all these evangelicals in office the same exact question. Also, I just checked how much this guy gets paid from AIPAC, and whoa, buddy! Okay, so here's where it gets schizophrenic as f***. While I am telling you this, please keep in mind, I don't believe this. This is what they believe. Because as I was writing this, I felt like a crazy person. With the evangelical doomsday lore, there is something called the Third Temple. In Judaism, there were 2 temples. There was the first temple, built around 10th century BC, and the second temple, rebuilt around the exile. And the third temple is this idea that a new Jewish temple will be built on the temple.
So I don't know if you remember this, guys. A while back, people were talking about, like, the red heifer. All right. So according to these evangelical Christians, and also to the more, I guess, Zionist or conservative Israelis, so in order for the third temple to be built, there has to be what's called the red heifer, and there has to be 7 of them. Each one has to be unblemished. In other words, they have to be pure red-haired heifers. All right. And they all have to be born within a certain period. All right. And once these 7 heifers are found, they will be sacrificed for the construction of the temple. Now, according to some people here on the Twitterverse, or Xverse, whatever you want to call it, that there were literal scientists who were attempting to make this happen. Like, they were trying to clone red heifers. They were attempting to do this so they could send them. Trump's family is orange. So these red heifers have to be sent to Israel, or Israel has to find them and sacrifice them. And once they're sacrificed, they can begin construction of the third temple. But here's the issue. The third temple must be built on on the location where the Temple of the Mount is, where there currently sits a mosque. All right, not just like any old mosque. All right, not just any old mosque. No. This is the mosque where supposedly sits the stone where Muhammad ascended to heaven, where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ascended to heaven. So the Jews must sacrifice these 7 red heifers, which allows them to construct the new temple. The new temple, okay, and this is again the research. So 2 things are going to happen. Okay, so the first thing is this: the Jews believe once they sacrifice this, they can construct the third temple. When the third temple is constructed, this is going to bring about the Messianic era. All right, so in other words, everyone's going to be Jewish. All right, like this is going to be the golden age of Israel, and this is going to bring about the end of time. All right, for the Jews. Now, Christians, on the other hand, the evangelical Christians are like, yeah, we're going to find these 7 heifers. We're going to give them to Israel. They're going to sacrifice them. They're going to build that third temple. Jesus is going to come back, and Jesus is going to make everybody Christian and end the world. It's a win-win. Batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. Absolutely insane.
Mount in Jerusalem to help usher in end times. So interesting side note here. Jewish people, especially Orthodox Chabad Jews, who are basically like the evangelicals of Judaism, believe building this temple will not bring on the end times, but the Messianic age, otherwise known as the Golden Age, where everyone will live under Noahide laws, where the concept of worshiping Jesus would basically be illegal. Meanwhile, the evangelical end times, the Jews will convert to Christianity. So Christians and Jews are both looking to build this thing for very different reasons that do not complement each other at all, yet they are both working together to do it, and both think they will be right in the end. Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of War, has openly talked about rebuilding the Third Temple.
And there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible.
Bro. Oh my God! This is our Secretary of War. What does that say in the back? King David Jerusalem? Arut Sheva? Oh, the King David Hotel. Jeez. I bet you that's a really nice... You know what? Like, this is like asylum. Lock away the keys. Well, we haven't been able to bring asylums back yet. All right. Thank you, liberals. All right. Let's see. Oh my. That is a nice hotel. Look at that, guys. Oh, we got 360. We got a 360 of the bathroom. Oh wow. Oh, this is from inside the tub? Alright, cool. So that's gotta be the stand-in shower. Look at this. Oh, look at that. They got a handlebar here for the elderly. A natural loofah. And natural soap. Signature edition. Got some lotions here. Alright, cool. Oh wow, that's a nice looking. That looks really cool. No, go back. I like this bar. That's a really good bar. Oh, that's a nice little breakfast area. Got massage. It's totally digital. It's not even real. Now, if I request, a missile attack in the morning, will I get it as a wake up call? Yeah. I can see that happening, Dragon. Go back. There's another picture of that bar. I like that bar. That looks really good. Okay, so how much is it to spend a night? Rooms and suites. The Jerusalem room, the deluxe new city room, the deluxe new city top floors, the deluxe old city, family room old city, family room. Look at that. Or the Netanyahu special. I miss the days when cops would straight beat your ass when, you know, well that's kind of like the Rodney King thing that kind of like stopped all of that, you know. The Lima restaurant and terrace, the grill room, a unique steakhouse, the finest in Jerusalem, fine Israeli wines and cocktails in the elegant Oriental bar. Can we say that word? I don't think we could say that word. I think the word Oriental is like haram.
Man, we just want affordable homes and groceries. What is this? And Pete Hegseth, according to the president, is apparently the guy who does not want the war to end.
I said, Pete and General Raisin Kane, I think This thing's going to be settled very soon. Here they go. Oh, that's too bad. Pete didn't want it to be settled.
So, what is so bad about rebuilding this temple? If none of this is true, like...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Trump wants the war to end. Like, if Rodney King stopped all that all that, then why was the cop still beating him? I'm not gonna lie. I think Trump wants to end the war. I think this has gone long enough. He sees the market for what it is or what's happening, and I think he wants to. He wants to end this. The only problem is if let's take Shoe on Head's assessment with a grain of salt. But let's say Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, even our Secretary of War have gotten to the president to say like, "Hey, we need to be here. We need to do this. We need to do that." I really do feel like Trump wants to end the war as quickly as possible. He does not want to be there for too long because this is making him look bad. And I know this is his last term. It's not going to go well in terms of optics. So pulling out now, or even another week from now. All right. Even pulling out from another week. Keep firing, assholes. He's basically Dark Helmet. I don't know. I don't think so. And the only reason, like I said, the president makes bad decisions of listening to people that he shouldn't. Remember John Bolton, old walrus face? All right. John Bolton ended up betraying the president in the end. Got himself a book deal, and it just ended up being this whole thing. I really feel like the president is choosing the wrong friends for the task at hand. And that's just me giving the guy the benefit of the doubt. I know some people won't, and that's fine. That's completely fair. But I do think that just based off of just recent history, the president hasn't really made the best choices in terms of who he has next to him.
Who gives a shit? Like freedom of religion. Well, here's the issue. If the goal is to trigger a massive war in order to get Jesus to return, they will do shit to make that happen.
Oh shit, it's 12:09. You are absolutely right, Dragon. I need to get to bed too. Holy crap. It's been fun, guys. Alright, I will catch you. Thanks for joining me on this little rant. I hope it was fun. It was fun talking to you guys. It was fun watching this stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.